Hey, good morning, legends. You're on the chain where crypto meets, guess what? Reality and truth. Cutting. This is funny. I'm trying to use something brand new. Let me start this all over from the top, guys. Good morning. This is Jeff, and you guys are the legends here with us on the chain where crypto meets reality, truth cuts through the noise. And with me always is the one and only Chip.
Yeah, and today, buckle up. Why? Because Ripple just went full prime time. Hidden Road is officially Ripple Prime, making Ripple the first crypto company to run a global multi-asset prime brokerage. XRP sits at the center of it all, exactly how Garlinghouse said it would.
And Garlinghouse said, meanwhile, CZ, yes, that's right. The one and only CZ from Binance has been pardoned by guess who? That's right. President Donald Trump, shaking up the crypto world, driving the establishment crazy, driving the left crazy, driving the YouTube fanboys crazy. And if that wasn't enough drama, guess what? The left is completely melting down over the ballroom at the White House. Now you just can't make this stuff up, Chip.
Yeah, and if you think about it, it really comes down to the perfect storm. You take crypto power, political chaos, and guess what's at the core? That's right, XRP. So grab your badassery brew, go ahead and lock in that Zaman wallet, and let's dive into it because it's all happening where, Jeff?
Right here on the chain.
On the chain, baby. Let's go.
Welcome to On the Chain.
Welcome, everybody, where you're coming in from today. Greetings from Celebration. Always number one in here. We got Rod Hale in here from Scappapoose, Oregon.
Notified and sound check passed. Boom.
Beautiful. All right. Well, that's good to know. I still haven't got I don't have my
celebrate good times.
I always look, and I even check to see if I even turn the notifications on and off. Nope.
Yep. Oh, I got it instantaneously. Boom, right there.
Did you? Nah, man, I don't get it. I don't understand. It's really weird because I get every other YouTube channel that I'm subscribed to, which is apparently a lot because it gets clogged up pretty quickly. John Page is in here. XRP, baby.
Got a lot of stuff to cover and a short time to do it. A lot of cool things to talk about today. Ripple always cutting edge, as we had mentioned. So we want to dive into that. A lot of tech in the space, a lot of cool things happening with the tech in the space, a lot of things happening within the institutions. Not as much on the retail yet, but that's coming.
Yeah, I mean, also it'll be interesting to see what happens with these ETFs. There's just so much positive stuff coming out, really, no matter what. And even though there's a couple of road bumps, I would say little bumps in the road that's happening between the Democrats and Republicans, I think ultimately there is enough support out there from us, we the people. Jeff, look at the shirt. Show off the shirt, Jeff. We the people.
Yeah,
there's enough support from we the people. That's right off the. That looks very familiar. That handwriting. You might have seen it on might have seen it on a document before. But what's interesting is that I think that's kind of what had such an influence in the last election. So it's really going to be hard to ignore. And that's why I think there's going to be bipartisan support, even though there's going to be a lot of things hammered out. I think where a lot of the conflict is going to come around is the DeFi piece of it. I think it's so new and it's going to create a little bit of problem trying to regulate it and trying to figure out how to control it. And I think that's the problem right there, lies the problem. So although there'll be some regulations coming across there, we'll just have to see, and hopefully the Republicans will fight a little bit harder to make sure that if you put too many controls around it, we get into another scenario where, you got overbearing, like type SEC type of a thing happening. But we definitely don't want that either. So Jim D in the house.
Jimmy D.
And so Ripple put this out, introducing Ripple Prime, and somebody put a logo out there. I was trying to find it, but they put, it might even be in here, but they took, the Amazon Prime that's got the big smile on it. They did Ripple Prime like that. Introducing Ripple Prime. We're pleased to share that our acquisition of Hidden Road officially complete. So they're going to be changing the name of that. It's going to become an official Ripple product. It's making Ripple the first crypto company to own and operate a global multi-asset prime broker. We teased that at the beginning. It brings the promise of digital assets to institutional customers at scale. So here we go. There it is right there. There it is. Ripple Prime. Look at that. bank XRP put that out. That's funny.
Ripple Prime.
I don't think that's their logo, but it's funny that he put that out.
It isn't. It's not the logo, but
like Amazon.
It's kind of funny. I didn't even really connect the Prime when I was looking at the Ripple Prime. I'm like, that's hilarious.
Look, he says really, Ripple really Prime, like Amazon Prime, but for banks and financial institutions. Well, not exactly. You're not pressing a button and ordering, but overnight.
Positioning themselves for a big buy. Maybe Amazon's going to swoop in and buy the whole lot of everybody.
Maybe they do that, Jeff. Maybe they do press a button and boom, instant liquidity. That's kind of how it works. It's probably a little more complicated than that, but I don't know if we can simplify it to Ripple Prime, just like Amazon, but for banks and financial institutions. So it's
like
a little bit. Yeah, I like
go
it
in,
too.
find your product, hit the button, and that's it.
Pretty much.
I think that's what they want to be able to do. I think they do want to simplify, and that's been the whole mantra from the beginning. Is they want to simplify the whole transactional process, that you don't have to witness all the other moving pieces in between. You select your financial institution, you select the currency that you want them to receive it in. The intermediary solution will move dollars across the Ripple solution using XRP and dump it in British pounds. And I think that was the whole point in doing instantaneously. So a push of a button. That was everything that had been discussed way back in the interim. But now things are obviously a little bit different. Moving to a prime brokerage account, man, they're moving beyond that
right there.
early day component, which is really good. Big acquisition. It's a big acquisition, not just for them, Chip, but for the entire space. It's really putting traditional finance on notice, putting big banking infrastructure on notice that, hey, it's time to modernize. And here's what's happening.
A lot of people from the UK joining us. Brian Barker is ripped.
Brian Barker is ripped.
Holy cow. Yeah, it is an incredible acquisition, John Page, for sure, absolutely. But the other thing, too, is like they're becoming a one-stop for everything, right? Because if you think about the money licenses, transmitter licenses they have, the custody solution that they have, like instead of shopping for 4, 5 to 6 different places that you need to get all this done, you can now go to Ripple and get it all done. And the fact of the matter is like, especially with the other acquisition in, I think it was in August, but Rail allows them, they already acquired a bunch of customers. So what you're going to see is cross-pollination. You might pick up something like a Hidden Road. It already had a really well-established group of customers, and they're going to start, oh, well, this is great. Now you have a menu. Now that you can select, you know what? We don't have a custody partner. You know what? We don't have, and this is kind of how it's going to go. This is what makes it super exciting, is the fact that these existing companies don't have to shop around. And part of the problem is that you have a lot of the competition out there, but you can kind of get it all in one place, and it's best of breed. That's the other big part of it too. They didn't just acquire these companies that were like, we're in the space doing it. These were the top companies doing the business and leading with market share. So they also bring a lot of market share in this. And I almost think that outside people, especially people that aren't familiar with, let's say, Ripple, there are other blockchain companies, don't realize how exciting and powerful this is. But you're starting to see the industry wake up to like, wow, look what Ripple's done. Look at the acquisitions, how many acquisitions they've made in the last year. And, they're spending some money, $1 billion, 1.2 here, $1 billion over here, 200 million there. They are setting themselves up for a dominance. And not to mention the fact that they've got the Ripple USD is also going to play into that heavily too, because all of these orgs, these treasuries need the ability to use a stable coin, right? So that really does do it. And we're going to talk about some comments that Brad Garlinghouse got into as well, but I don't want to go through this. I'd rather just kind of talk through it in the scenario here, because Hidden Road, which obviously now is Ripple Prime, they said the next chapter starts now. Hidden Road, now Ripple Prime, part of Ripple. This move enhances our ability to serve institutions worldwide with greater capacity, more products, and new markets. Just exactly what we were chatting about. Follow Ripple for the latest updates. Of course, they're just kind of like, that's an official handoff. And Hidden Road will just, probably this account will just be sunsetted, because everything will go under the Ripple account, because it's one of Ripple's products. And they're not going to have, I don't know that they'll have a Ripple Prime handle. Who knows? I think it'll all fall under Ripple itself, Jeff. I mean, That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
I mean,
they've tried all the different handle or different names for products, and it got super confusing.
no, 100%. Yeah, and that's what's going on. Look at this, Hog Whiskers in here. Long time no see. Absolutely, welcome back. Good to have you back. Charles says Ripple bank announcement at Swell will be huge just before New York turns socialist.
That's right. That's true.
Yeah, well, I think
true.
that's at the end of November, though. Is it, Charles, or was I know it was in November, but I'm not sure about the actual timing of that. But they're waiting to hear. But yeah, you're right. But when you think about a bank, the license will be more on the institutional size. But again, you're just talking about you having all the pieces in one pie. Nice to see Caleb Brown snatched up by an Australian company. Yep, good to see that too. OMG, the Walmart's looting and now beginning because no food stamps. Yeah, well, that's part of what's happened is, the gravy train ran out. XRP says the king is the meat in the sandwich. Good old Sammy's. Get a sandwich, get your Sammy. And I wanted to talk to this here too. So Monica Long chimed in. She's the president over at Ripple, and she said the opportunity is now available to Ripple Prime, which was formerly known as Hidden Road. They're expansive, with RLUSD already being used as collateral for a number of Prime brokerage products. Ripple Prime looking at a variety of ways to utilize XRP. The future ahead is mighty bright. And Brad Garlinghouse brings some real good context into this, Jeff. But you notice right here the positioning of this, looking for a variety of ways to utilize XRP. Now, it's front and center in Monica's comment regarding Hidden Road becoming Ripple Prime. Brad Garlinghouse takes it even a step further. Brad says, with today's close of Hidden Road, now Ripple Prime, Ripple has announced 5 major acquisitions in less than 2 years. G Treasury last week, Rail in August, Standard Custody in 24, and Mataco in 23. As we continue to build solutions towards enabling the Internet of Value, let's not forget what Brad talked about, the Internet of Value. This has been a conversation going on a long time. Brad says, I'm reminding you all that XRP sits at the center of everything Ripple does. Locked in. That's powerful.
Locked and loaded.
What do you think of this last line right here? That he's reminding us that XRP sits at the center of everything Ripple does.
Yeah, I think it's key. I mean, if you look at the entire, well, first and foremost, everything that they've built is based off of that. Interesting that they want to talk about continuing to enable the Internet of Value. I like that. But the technology, and did he really, mean XRP? Is he referencing the XRPL? Is it kind of a combo of the two? Is he using those two synonymous with one another? But I do think so. I think as we start really developing and we look at technology, and they have to have a clear vision of the direction they want to go in, it's big. It's really, really big. I think it makes a massive difference in the financial space, because that's where the XRPL is just one of the better technologies out there as far as crypto blockchains. So it's really massive. Yep.
Yeah, super massive. Yeah, so Swell's coming up on the 4th and 5th. It's not this week, but the following week. I'll be in New York City. And look at Hog Whiskers basically confirms, Jeff, what we've known for a long time. He says, thanks, Jeff. Ran across this after an eternity. YouTube deletes many subscriptions for some reasons. We know that. They don't send out the alerts. This channel's shadow banned. What does that mean? That means it's still alive. You can still watch it, but alerts don't go out. Some people get alerts. I never get them. I got 3 YouTube channels.
Well, you have to subscribe and unsubscribe, and then I get alerts all the time, but not everybody does.
Not everybody does. I've subscribed and unsubscribed. I've turned off the notifications, turned them back on, hoping to do this. But this is what happens. So like when we look at our stats, we just lose people. And they're not even off recent videos. Like if we go back 30 days, you might see someone saw a video and like, oh man, I didn't like the content. I don't want to watch these fools anymore. And they unsubscribe. No. So if you're not even watching content from the last 30 days, the people that are being deleted, it's not because they watched the video or they saw us come up. They're just deleting it. And people have commented on this and said, yeah, well, I stopped going there because I didn't get notifications, but I didn't even have a subscription anymore. And so these are all the unsubscribes that we see in our stats. So Hog Whiskers, thank you for confirming that. It's pretty sad. I mean, you just heard this latest legislation go down. They were sitting in front of Congress, and they said, "Oh, we're really sorry. We're sorry we deleted people." Yeah, they're gonna play ball right now. They don't want to be investigated, but they still have legacy code. Channels like ours, people are like coming here like, "You guys should have a lot." Well, nobody sees the channel. That's the problem. And it's funny. I was gonna do a story today that I censored myself on, Jeff, because it's a really crazy ass story, and it's all about the big G, and it's really bad. And I said, well, I don't know if we should do that story, man. I kind of like our channel. I kind of like to stay up, even though we've got a very dedicated group, but I'm like, I don't know if we want to go there. I mean, can you imagine that that's the kind of way you would think? Did you censor yourself because you kind of know that it's a dangerous topic?
That's kind of crazy.
It's a little bit weird, but Charles is reminding everybody now to smash the likes. That does help. Guys, if everybody that comes in hits a like, if you're on YouTube, if you're watching us over on X, that's fine. What we're really starting to notice is that our audio version of this, and thank you everybody that's listening right now, has really jumped up in numbers. So, and it eclipses double of what people watch the live. And a lot of times people just are busy. They don't. A lot of times it's just easier if you're like mobile, right? If you're on the tube over there, in London, you can just pick it up. You can listen. If you're, driving your vehicle, you can listen because we're on every major podcasting place. So you can subscribe there too. Even if you don't maybe catch it every time, it does help to subscribe there too. It kind of gets us out there and suggests us to more people. But we're really seeing a lot of new people come in, so we're really thankful for that. Some of them might be you guys, but we're getting a lot of listens. We're very, grateful for that because we see that that's going on. So good. Look, Art says he was notified. Good to hear that. Only smash the visual vendetta. Only smash the like button because of the two good-looking guys doing the show. Well, thank you, man. We'll take that. We'll take that. And he says, and it's not gay. Okay, good. Thank you for prefacing that too. But it's just been an incredible. I'm just so impressed with the moves that Ripple is making, Jeff. It's just they're blowing up into such a big company right now. I mean, they're like next level. Jeff, you talked about this. Take this next one story right here with CZ.
This one I think is a big deal. Mainly because we're seeing some positive pardons. Bringing this one to light. I'm sure it's going to upset many on the left. It's probably going to upset many of the YouTube fanboys. It's also going to upset many of the libertarians out there. All positive news when you upset that group. So here, and so I really love to see how Trump's really stepping up. But here's CZ coming out with his post. Deeply grateful for today's pardon and to President Trump for upholding America's commitment to fairness, innovation, and justice. We'll do everything we can to help make America the capital of crypto and advanced Web3 worldwide. I think overall, if we look at that period of time when everything went down and how, CZ and Sam Bankman-Fried and what's his name? Malinsky, not Malinsky. Was it not Malinsky? What was his name? Celsius? Why can't I think of the name?
Mashinsky.
There you
go. Close. You had a ski in there.
Malinsky didn't sound right. But
Walensky is that steak sauce, and then steakhouse. So Walensky.
That's what it is. Walensky.
Nice.
So if you look at between that group, all the things that were going on at the time, plus the Democrat-controlled White House, plus being scapegoated, all these different things that were going on between them, it was all very instrumental in the attempt of the takedown of the crypto space, spearheaded by Elizabeth Warren and by the chair of the SEC at that time, Gary Gensler. They had it out for, and they were trying to topple the crypto industry in the US, not necessarily to destroy the global crypto industry, but based on their objective to smash the US positioning down many different notches so they were no longer a leader in any space. That was their objective. If you look at the true objective of the left from and you could chart it pre-Bill Clinton to Carter, but maybe before for sure. But with Clinton, if you think about all the things that were happening, is they weren't trying to lift everybody else up around the world. They were trying to push the U.S. down, and they wanted to bring us down to everybody else's level. Obama and Biden, solidified that perspective. And we see what's happened on a global scale now. It's never about lifting everyone up by their bootstraps. The West has this irrational belief at this point of guilt that, since the West has achieved so much, that instead of saying, hey, let's teach and help everybody else, they're like, no, we're doing so well, let's just flood our countries with all these people that don't share our ideology. Let's, instead of helping them develop the same thing. This is, to me, is very symbolic of all of this fight, because it's not just so singular focus, but this component of it, President Trump helping the crypto industry, pardoning CZ and CZ's passion to move this forward. Big deal. To me, it's a huge deal. Onwards, Chip, onwards. What are your thoughts on this?
No, listen, I mean, there's a lot has been made about this, but I think the next couple of posts on X that we share will kind of like tell the whole story. And, there really was no fraud involved. And I think just like they go after somebody like CZ at Binance, and instead of going after, FTX, instead of going, like, in other words, it was very selective on how they targeted, and you had an overbearing SEC. And quite honestly, look, you can, whether you like Binance or not, look, CZ's done an incredible amount for the space, a lot for adoption. He's a Canadian citizen. Yeah, sure, he was born in China. People are trying to make him out like, oh, he's born in China. Well, so what? I mean, but I think I have a lot of respect for CZ. I think he's done a lot of good stuff. I mean, from just the kind of person he is, from the what he says and how he says it, he doesn't come off as snobby at all. But he has done a lot of good. He has donated a lot of goodwill and a lot of his own funds. So whether you think it's a good thing or not, but I'll tell you the one right here, and Joe Buddy said it right here. America needs Binance on its side. If you want to become, I mean, that's one sort of thing about it, but I think he was unfairly targeted, and especially what he was targeted for. And if we look at this next one, Elizabeth Warren, Pocahontas here, who was perfectly okay with pretending that she was Native American. She's like 1/10 of 1% of Native American. You can go almost anywhere in America and you could throw a dart in the air and hit somebody in the back of the head, and they'll be more Native American than this witch who claimed, and she scammed people. And almost any other place in the world, if somebody especially the Democrats, misappropriated someone else's heritage to benefit herself and make herself look good, her whole career was built on, I'm Native American. Okay, boom, you moved to the front of the line. She wasn't. It was a big scam and a lie, and she scammed everybody, and she still stayed in office because the Democrats will find a way to stay there. Scam somebody, rip somebody off, misappropriate someone else's heritage. Yeah. So here's her comment. CZ pleaded guilty to criminal money laundering charge and was sentenced to prison. But then he financed President Trump's stablecoin and lobbied for a pardon. Today he got it. If Congress does not step in for this kind of corruption, it owns it. Well, let's go. So she got totally she got a community note. CZ pleaded guilty to violating the Bank Secrecy Act. Let's listen to what this is. The Bank Secrecy Act for failing to implement an effective anti-money laundering program, AML. Okay, he did not plead guilty to money laundering. So you've got a U.S. senator who's coming out with false claims, who says that he financed Trump's stablecoin, and she's trying to make it about something else, and she doesn't even get the charge right. Bank Secrecy Act for not putting together an effective, had an AML program, but it wasn't effective. Okay, so this is very selective, in my opinion, and going after someone like Changpeng Zhao just to try to make an example. But they didn't go after Sam Bankman-Fried because he was funneling money into the Democrat Party, and that was okay. They're blowing him kisses.
They loved him.
They loved him, right? I mean, they absolutely loved him.
Bankman-Fried.
Mike Belshie, he's the CEO of BitGo. He chimed in. He said, "You're incorrect, Senator Warren. CZ pleaded guilty to violating the Bank Secrecy Act by failing to maintain an effective AML program, not money laundering. without minimizing the severity of that, he's the only person to ever receive jail time solely for this violation, while traditional banks like TD Bank pay billions in fines for massive AML failures with no execs in prison. This disparity highlights how he was unjustly prosecuted or persecuted for being in crypto, and that's why the pardon is absolutely justified. You know, Mike Belcher gets it 100% right here. Jeff, look at the banks. They, you know, and listen, if you're a bank, you can go out and make $1 billion, but you did something a little bit, violated the law. Well, you can get slapped with $100 million fine, and you're glad to pay it because you still keep $900 million. You're like, okay, that's a pretty good trade-off. If we get caught, we're still going to benefit. But he's right. Look at TD Bank. You know, Toronto Dominion is what it stands for. Nobody knows. I mean, it's everywhere, but it's a Toronto Dominion Bank. They violated the law. They did nothing. You got Bank of America, right? You got Chase, JP Morgan Chase. Jeff and I have gone through in the past. We pull up the fines from these banks. They're astronomical of the laws they break. And because you've got these people in Congress, I mean, Warren, Jeff, is funded by the banks. I mean, she's like the number one on the banking sort of license. So CZ then said a U.S. senator can't get her facts right in a public post about a person's charge. There were no money laundering charges. The same senator who declared war on crypto on public TV 5 days before my sentencing during the Biden administration. Need a better example of weaponization of Biden's DOJ against crypto? Here's Teresa Goody-Guillen says, facts matter. CZ was rightly pardoned by POTUS, President of the United States, for a single charge of failure to have an effective compliance program. No fraud, no victims, no criminal history, no money laundering. CZ is the first and only known first-time offender in the U.S. history to receive a prison sentence for this single non-fraud related charge. Sound familiar, Jeff? Non-fraud? Sounds like Ripple was brought up on charges too by the SEC, and no fraud happened there either. The judge found no evidence that he knew of any illicit transactions and that it was reasonable for him to believe there were no illicit funds on the platform. Thank you for responsible, accurate reporting. Thoughts?
Yeah, it's about time. You know, it's we got to get that right. You got to get the right pardon. You got to get the right information out there. All that information has been, you know, blocked and corrupted, and we don't just see it with this specific case. I mean, this is again a representative of everything that was happening at the time. You brought up a couple of very good points on it, and CZ, you know, first time offender gets this massive prison sentence from those that were in charge at the time, which was you know, the Democrat Party was in charge, and they were looking to take down whatever they could do. And this was you know, just part and parcel. If we look at who Gary Gensler was, how he reigned at the SEC, how he tried to dominate and dictate the direction of things. You know, the guy was he wasn't doing it based on, oh, let's see if we can get Congress to create. And he did, you know, to be fair, on the other side of it, he had mentioned it multiple times when he was pulled in front of Congress.
Lost your mic, Jeff.
He's the enforcer.
Oh, there you go. You're back.
Yep. So he's the enforcer. He's using enforcement tactic. But when he's in front of Congress, he said, hey, if you guys want a law, if you want regulatory clarity, write the law. You know, but Congress 100%. Never did. And so he did throw it back in their face. And then he did what he wanted because they didn't. You know, and that's, I think, you know, a really important point, you know, to offset everything that he was doing at the time.
Charles Tomarello reminds us that he's 0.0000001 Korean. So,
oh my God.
So, yeah. And so Jim D says, Charles, a Satoshi Korean, huh? He goes, I am Satoshi, Jim D. He goes, uh-huh. Winder Dream just says, we just want a bull run. Absolutely, 100%. Legit pardon, not an auto pen. Correct. No auto pen involved there. Let's see. I personally think this is a visual vendetta. Thinks that CZ got arrested because he exposed the books on SPF. That's a really good point. That is a very FTX. But on Sam Bankman-Fried, you're absolutely right. He's the one that brought it to the thing, and so you're right. That's a very good. That's a really good point right there, right?
Yeah.
Go after him because he sunk their
that's exactly
their gravy train.
That was exactly what happened. And so their gravy train, FTX, took down Celsius purposefully, went after Celsius, and then not that long after, CZ went after FTX and pulled the the rug right out from under his feet. There were a whole bunch of things going on behind the scenes at that time, and we can probably go back to our videos and see how we were discussing exactly what was happening politically around that incident. But we kind of forecasted that FTX was coming down and what potential was happening behind it because of all the power plays. And that was really one of the first steps that had taken away the gravy train of the Democrat Party. It wasn't until Trump gets back in and the removal of USAID and some of the other NGOs that were funneling money to the Democrat Party, not just the Democrat Party, but the entire Democrat machine, including the mainstream media. So if we look at how many people have been laid off, or they lost their jobs as teleprompter readers or talk shows, and now you can see there's zero viewership, and it's just amazing at how deep the machine really goes. And that's just one part of it. There's so much money being pumped into the machine, and you think about also, as soon as the machine gets shut off, then you're going to see we saw an uptick in global threats, and I mean there's so much going on, and it's Trump is just hitting them on a regular basis, which is really important.
Look at this here. CZ says the people who are aggressive against me were all SBF supporters: Gary Gensler, Elizabeth Warren, and Auntie Maxine
Waters.
That's right.
It. That's exactly it.
Totally nailed it, Jeff. We're 30 minutes past the hour. Let's we need to throw the song.
Glad to hook up with you guys. Looking forward to your future lives. That's it. Exactly.
It's great.
Good to have.
Yeah, dude, you missed my whole evolution of hair where I grew it way past my shoulders and then cut it again. See what you missed?
Too. Me too. Look at this.
Jeff did the same thing. You missed that time I shaved my head where Jeff and I were twinners.
That's right.
Okay, that didn't happen. That didn't happen. But it'd be funny though.
All right, let's up. So it is the oh, look at that. We're actually getting some good viewership here today, which is great on all channels. And then for everybody out there that's listening in on the podcast, and get ready and stay tuned. This one's going to be more audio than video. So, but get your Zaman wallets ready, because we do have a giveaway here. Beautiful. And so let me just quickly show you guys the giveaway.
Cue it up, baby.
And then we'll get some music going too. But there you go. There's an ass kicker for you. This guy is kick ass, and he's an ass kicker. Man, you got to love the graphic on this one. Love his sword, his furriness. So get ready for some fun.
So to explain a little bit of that too, this is the White Tribe. The White Tribe is divided into clans. This happens to be the Ass Kicker clan, and that's what's up for a giveaway today as an NFT.
On the live
they're also available to mint over there on XRP.cafe. We also have the Blue Tribe. The Blue Tribe's almost sold out. I'd love you guys to help us get that Blue Tribe totally sold out and totally done. It's very, very close. Go look at the Blue Tribe real quick, Jeff. See how close we are to the I think you gotta type in the no, you have to go to you have to type in Blue Tribe Badass Yetis up in the search.
Oh, we're there. I'm already there.
Oh, you're there. Okay, cool. How much? What's the percentage? That percentage bar up top?
93% minted.
Guys, we're 7% away from being completely sold and retiring this Blue Tribe. There will be no more. So if you guys want to help us out on that, really appreciate it. Go to xrp.cafe, go over there and mint go ahead and do a mint.
The collection. I just threw it in there. So the collection is in there. And I'll do the same thing for the White Tribe. So there's the Blue Tribe, White Tribe. The White Tribe is only 33% minted.
We've suspended the if you type in Yeti, it says Chip and Jeff won't let me win again for a while. No, I mean we've kind of suspended that.
Yeah.
So
but here we go. All right. So get ready for this one. I think you guys are gonna like this one. Here we go.
From the frozen peaks they rise, white fire in their eyes, badass Yetis, White Tribe. the ass kickers reign. Sword in hand, ice wind at their back, marching through blizzards they attack. Steel meets ice, the ground shakes. Every swing, the mountains quake. Frostbit rage, hearts of stone, they fight as one, never alone. Brothers in battle, fearless and true. Morning breaks, they charge the blue. White clan roars, their legend grew. Ass kickers fight for the chosen few. Yeti, rise and roar. Yeti, strike once more. Steel and brass, honor and flame. The white clan. Remember the name of the boy. Yo boy, like that. No. Yo boy, yo boy, like that. No. Yo boy, yo boy. Your key, the Zaman wallet. Your fate on the chain. Your word, Yeti. Chain is on the chain.
Yeah, isn't that fantastic, Jeff?
There you go.
Look at that. And let's not forget that the today's broadcast on the chain brought to you by Badassery Coffee, our coffee brand. Let's roll it.
$5 for a latte. Half of that feeds some hipster's avocado toast habit. Quit financing coffee fads you don't need. It's time to rebel. Your badass great-grandpa had only one tin cup and brewed his coffee over an open fire. We roast to order, ship free, and keep every bean bold enough to wake the dead. Or at least your 9 a.m. meeting. We make coffee that punches Mondays in the face. Badassery Coffee. Fresh, fierce, f***ing great. Roasted fresh, shipped free. Chaos pending. Order now at badasserycoffee.com. badasserycoffee.com.
.com, baby. And there it is right there. I'll go ahead and drop the link in there. badasserycoffee.com. We just recently rebranded from the from Badass Yetis Coffee, but I will throw this in there, guys, if you want to check it out. It's roast to order. We always suggest our two favorites are these two right here. Obsidian Bold, which is a very dark Italian roast, or the Noir Symphony, which is just a pure dark roast. But these are, if you like a little heavier coffee, beautiful tasting coffee, this is it. Get the beans. You probably never had fresh roasted coffee unless you visited a coffee farm and you were at the roastery, or you know somebody has a roastery, because it's all next level. Order comes in, we roast them, we send them out, and then you get that bag pretty quick. Shipping's free. So, and right now we're still working on, I don't think we have everything 100% set up for international yet, Jeff. I don't think we have that set up, but if you're in the US, we can, I don't know, it would look a little bit to see what that's going to take, because there will be some shipping costs, and it also depends where you're at too. So, but we'll be happy to figure that. So there we go, guys. There we are. That's what we have on the tap right there. So it's really phenomenal. So let's I want to jump into some other things here. You know, this whole meltdown, Jeff, that's been going on with the White House thing. I mean, all of a sudden, people that never knew what the East Wing was are suddenly
now experts.
They're experts. They never even knew there was an East Wing, because everyone knows the West Wing. They know the West Wing TV show, but everybody all of a sudden, Jeff, out of nowhere, they're super like I mean, I just don't understand like who even cares? But now they're like, Trump is destroying the White House. The guy who made his fortune building some of the most famous buildings around the world, he's ruining the White House. Okay, so here's Warren and Senator Blabbermouth, or whatever the hell her name is. I don't know. She's another Look at how disingenuous this. They're not even good at acting. Like at least, I mean, the fake outrage here is just peak level. Look at this shit. Look at this.
It is actually a demolition zone.
Now look at, they're sitting there watching a video. Look at us. We know how to use TikTok. We put the video in the background. Isn't this great? Now listen to the commentary. It's so bad, Jeff.
Zone. That is what.
What's her name? This one here. What, Gillibrand? Who's that? Which one is that?
I forget.
I don't know.
They all kind of blend together.
They're all socialist losers anyway. Let's go.
That's right.
Here we go.
No, it is actually a demolition zone. That is what it is. Look at that.
Oh,
unbelievable.
wow. This is a construction zone. You know, Donald Trump can't hear.
Of course, it's a
people
construction
asking
zone.
for help because
Oh,
there's all this
the
chaos
machinery.
next door.
I mean, these are like bulldozers taking down the people's house right in front of our eyes.
Leveling
Oh my
the
God.
people's house so that he can build a gold encrusted ballroom.
And you think, how much does this cost? And he said 200 million, right?
Yeah.
A few weeks
Through
ago. Now
donation.
he's saying 300 million.
Yeah.
$300 million and an unbelievable amount of money just for this vanity
donate.
project of his with this golden ballroom.
Yeah, and meanwhile, what's happening on
These tourists, such
on
scumbags.
utilities? The costs just keep going up and up
Exactly.
and up.
Well, kind of like the ballroom. So,
Yeah.
you know, that went
Amy
from 200 to
Klobuchar.
300 million.
That's right.
But what
Klobuchar, that's it.
really people see
Same.
is what's happening with all of their groceries, what's happening with electricity, healthcare premiums, and he literally won't even take the time. He's like, oh, super. He's become a construction manager.
No, I know, but he
And
says he can't do anything on healthcare because we can't afford it.
that's true.
This is what we can afford, according to Donald Trump, tearing down the people.
Definitely
What
on the
else is
wait
he
list.
doing? He's going out of town like you do, right?
Well,
When you
yeah,
have
if you've got a
construction.
big construction site next door, of course
Look
it's
at
a
these
time
two
So you
deal.
go out of town, you know, he goes one place, he goes another, he's meeting
Two
with all these
yentas
leaders there to
just
negotiate.
going
But he
off
won't come
with
down
their
and meet
damn
with
mouths,
us.
Jeff.
He won't come
Idiots.
down and meet with our leaders.
Holy
He won't
cow.
do that because he's got to supervise this big, beautiful ball.
Now, if you're like me, Jeff, even all you hear is this. It's like Charlie Brown. Womp, 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 womp. Yeah, teacher. Womp, 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 womp. That's all you hear. I don't even know what they're talking about. I don't think they know what they're talking about. But
They have
look,
no
the video
idea
is-
what they're talking about.
Right.
Instructions.
There you have Donald Trump shut down.
So
Donald Trump.
Donald, now they're going to try to relay. Listen, all 53 U.S. senators that are Republican voted for this. We had one brave Democrat named Fetterman out of Pennsylvania that says, I vote country over party. They're going to figure out ways to get him out of the party pretty soon because he's ruffling too many feathers. So now you have 54 votes. You know what you're short? 6 senators on the Democrat side because the rest of them voted no. It's just to reopen the government. They want $1.5 trillion for illegals, Jeff. And it's just, they're not going to get it. Now, what's funny is we know this guy because he always does these funny videos about the View. He cuts himself into the View. But look at this. He's going to show you what this really is about. And you know what they tore down? A carport to attach the ballroom to it. So the east wing, you know, if it was, you know, if it's raining or something, you drive the car under it. It's just the part that covers the drive. They think they just destroyed the entire the east wing. So here we go. Look at here we go.
See this picture. He's literally destroying the White House. Well, if you zoom in on the same picture, you will see the White House in the background not being destroyed. Here's another one.
So funny.
What is that? That's the White House in the background, standing tall and well. Here's a bird eye view, and if you look closely, you will see that the building that's being demolished for renovation is the East Wing, which has undergone renovations and expansions under, wait for it, 3 presidents before Trump. In fact, the White House, the main structure, including the West Wing and the East Wing, has undergone at least 9 significant renovations or expansions before Trump. Like this one, or this one. Here's another one.
Jeez.
This one happened under Truman. Here's another one, here's another one. You can go on and on. Now, I hope this helps, but I bet it doesn't because, as we all know, everything done by Trump is bad and never seen before. In fact, so bad that the left has to lie about it to make it sound bad.
That's exactly what it is. He hit it. He hit it so succinctly, and the way they talk about it, I hope that they're renovating the White House, because if they don't do any renovation to the White House, at some point it becomes a dilapidated mess, and it'll look horrible. So everything has to go through repair. They got to update, got to modernize, got to make more space. Expanding on a ballroom, it's so fake news. The fact that the Democrats have so little to talk about, all this chaos going on in the country with, within, like in New York or in Chicago or wherever you want to go, where they're moving further and further towards socialist rhetoric. And these two, right, they talk about, oh, people's groceries are going up, which had been steadily going up over 4 years under Biden. But the point is that they could be focusing on actual real news. Instead, they have to make stuff up. And it just shows the deceptive lows that they're willing to go to lie to the people and make such a stupid video. They think they're so cool talking about demolition, and they have it on the background. Like you said, Chip, you were making fun of them. They finally figured out how to use TikTok, but it just shows the level of depravity that goes on in their brains, that these people are so useless, they're so worthless, and anybody who supports them is out of their freaking minds. I mean, it's unbelievable. And they didn't even mention once that the entire project, the $300 million, was paid for through donations. People hopefully have plaques to show these are the people that donated to build this out. They donated to the country. They gave of their money $300 million to build out an expansion of the White House. Trump doesn't take a salary. Trump has given so much back to this country. Let's see any one of them step up. And Elizabeth Warren, worth what, over $100 million, whatever she is, why doesn't she take some of her money and give it back? She's so adamant about all these different things. CC just paid for it. Maybe he paid for it.
It's so funny because I wrote in there that that we need to investigate her, because how did she end up with $80 million? That's what we want to know. How did she end up with $80 million? We have to figure that out. There has to be something going on there. Well, you know who one of the contributors, donators to the White House is? Ripple. That's right, Ripple. Nice. You name all these companies, Google, they're all contributors to it. They've all so he raises money with private funds because he knows he's going to get flack for it. He does it with private funds. He puts these two giant flags up, pays that for it out of his own pocket. Now, when you have a problem with putting flags on the White House, you're not American. You're anti-American. I mean, it's just. But look at this. This was created to trigger some people. So what it is, it's so attached to the White House. It's a giant. It's a giant tube, and then it's got a tall Trump tower next to it. It's got the word Trump on top of it. So they're like, yeah, awesome. This is what the new one looks at. Then he's got the East and West Wing coming off of the Trump tower. So he's got to love. Everybody,
that's a great idea, though.
It's a great idea. Everybody got super triggered by that one. And then this one here, I wanted to put someone nailed it right here. Somebody, let me put who got it. Yeah, right here. So the king said Lizzie, meaning Liz Warren, can pitch a teepee outside to protest. Well, somebody else said this, Trump is adding the Elizabeth Warren ring, which is a giant teepee outside.
God.
You just got to love that, man. I mean, it's
going to be the Trump ballroom.
There's just so much great stuff, man. It really is. So it's really a lot of fun.
Hog Whiskers referring to a time he went to an Ethiopian family's dinner, and they were roasting the coffee and dancing and big celebration over how they roast the coffee. If you've ever been to an Ethiopian restaurant, it's quite an event.
I've been to an Ethiopian. There's a good one in Miami, actually.
Yeah, they're really good.
So I got to get out of here, Jeff, but I want to play this one last video because I got an appointment.
Let's do that. And what's this? Let's wrap it up.
Dr. Dre, he's a real doctor.
So this guy does a great Trump right here, but he's hanging with Dr. Dre in the studio, and Dr. Dre does not want to be part of this, but the guy is so spot on with the Trump impersonation here.
I have the great Dr. Dre. He's a real doctor. He's a really good doctor. I have some good doctors. I never met a doctor that made beats. Never made it before. I don't know if he went to medical school, but I'm going to tell you right now, This guy has the best music. I love
No,
NWA.
bro, I'm not doing this. No,
Negroes with attitudes.
We're not doing this.
He's a Negro with a great attitude. I love this guy. He's one of my favorite black producers. You're so great. You're so amazing. I swear to God, all your music. The G thing is my favorite. You got to do a T thing, a Trump thing.
I did not approve this message.
I love this guy, Dr. Dre.
That's fantastic.
Oh my
You
God.
gotta love it.
They're
Well, Jeff,
funny.
I'm gonna give you the
They
rest of
are
the show, man,
funny.
because I got a book out of here. But guys, see you
damn.
guys. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's
All
funny.
right. All right,
People
guys.
are
I'm out of here, guys. I'll
point.
see you
All
guys
right,
on the
Chip.
next one. See you, man.
See you on the next one.
See you on the next one.
All right. So now that we got rid of Chip, now we can move on with some things. Wanted to kind of dig in a little bit more. There's all sorts of topic to cover here, and I want to make sure that we do really focus in on the importance and significance of the direction that things are moving in. Obviously, we see some positives with Ripple. We talk about the direction of their acquisitions with all good. You know, we also have to be very cognizant of what is actually happening within this is interesting too. There's a lot of good content. People are also talking about, if we look at what's happening over in New York, right? So we've got Cuomo versus Mamdani. Bill Morgan actually had put out a very key post the other day. Let me see if I can find it. Hang on a second. Let me pull this up. But in the meantime, you know, we've got Elon donated 130 million to help pay the military, and there's money coming up from, you know, personal donations from people around the country that are helping to keep the military funded, which is super impressive. Again, during a Democrat reign, you never see anything like that. It just does not happen, and it's not going to happen. But one of the things that we have to look at here, not Bill Morgan, Bill Ackman is what I was thinking. So Bill Ackman, Chip and I kind of followed the course of, you know, how he's kind of, you know, moved over a period of time. So let me, let's see, here we go. Let's add that to the stage. So Bill Ackman, he actually referenced, you know, things that are happening in New York. And he really talked about, you know, how key it is to look at or the direction that this Mamdani is taking the country, taking New York specifically. And he referenced that it's not just about New York, it's about the whole country's survival. You know, because here we're getting an Islamist, but it's an Islamist who's extremely passionate about socialism, that wants to move the whole country into a socialist direction. And we're seeing many on this side. So I like Ron DeSantis, really important, brought this out. There's just post after post after post that is coming out lately, because the race is on right now, and we're going to see a complete change of of where things are going. Oh, Jim D, yeah, was that Elon? I don't know if Elon Musk did, but that's what I was saying. It was personal donations. So they did raise money. They raised funds. I don't know if it all came from Elon Musk. I think there were multiple people that were donating money. I know there was a lot of speculation and talk about it. Not sure if that's where it came from specifically. But here, Ron DeSantis, our governor here in Florida, the guy who wants to globalize the Intifada and campaigns with an Islamist cleric with ties to the bombing of the World Trade Center, says the real problem is Islamophobia. This is what they do. They attack and then start labeling people Islamophobic, and it's just really across the board. We're seeing it, and we're going to see if he wins, it's going to be such a fast brain drain and money drain out of New York. It's going to be like a vacuum. It's going to be crazy how much money and the businesses and everyone that's going to flee New York and other states are going to be big benefactors of it. And I think people will want to keep their tie there. People will fight back, but they know the direction New York City is going to go, and they need to move their money out as fast as possible. Here, Patrick Bet David warns of mass exodus of investment out of New York City if socialist Zoran Mamdani becomes mayor. So people in New York City might stay in New York. Maybe they'll move outside New York City, but I believe a lot of people will come to cities like Miami or West Palm Beach, or they'll go to Dallas. They'll go to different areas where it's going to be a lot more friendly. Here, Patrick Beck David said, when I was talking to realtors, everyone was talking about Mamdani, and they said, I cannot tell you how many people are already planning on selling their homes, and assuming in New York City. There we go. There it is. Just as I was saying here. So they want to get out of Manhattan. They're looking at investing outside New York City. Realtors in Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Palm Beach, Boca, Nashville, they're waiting for Mamdani to get elected because people will be leaving, which is great. Hey, come down here, bring your money down to Florida. That's great. The arrogance of people thinking people won't leave. They have a short memory. They don't remember what happened in 2020, 21, 22 during COVID, which two states lost $1 trillion of money on their management. California and New York. New York lost $1 trillion out of New York. Unbelievable. Amazon wanted to bring 25,000 jobs at an average salary of 150,000. De Blasio and AOC said, hell no, don't bring them here. Bezos said, you don't want me, no problem. I'll take those jobs elsewhere. You're going to get that and then some with Mamdani. It's going to get really bad under Mamdani. It's really amazing. So here you go. Bill Ackman, the Democratic Party is in the final stages of destroying itself. It's about to be replaced by the Socialist Party. The New York City mayoral election is not just about the future of New York City. It's also about the future of our country. And I don't think he could have said it any more poignant than that. It's 100% spot on. The Democrat Party is a has-been. There, it's socialists across the board. You see them in Michigan, the governor of Michigan. Then there's going to be another race with more socialism coming. The mayor of New York City. You see the same problem in Chicago. You see the same problem in California, and you can go across the state and you can see the socialist takeover and takedown of the Democrat Party as they embrace Islamism across the board. They're so passionate about defending and protecting. You go over to England and you see what's wrong with their prime minister over there doing the exact same thing. And so it's not just New York City. We're seeing it, across the world, but here in our backyard, New York City, one of the greatest financial capitals on earth, and it's about to come down because they're attacking from within. You're bringing the socialists inside, and it's going to get bad. And it's going to be the fleecing of New York. Why? Because, if you can take down New York City, fleeces the rest of the state anyways. They take a large percentage of New York State tax dollars go to supporting New York City. And so New York City is already a slush fund of tax dollars. So New York State has to support it. If you broke New York City off, the rest of New York State would actually be better for it. Because it's typically the majority of New York State, like many states outside of main cities like that, are going to be more centrist to conservative for some reason in the cities. Maybe it's the water, maybe it's their lack of reality. I don't know, where they become kind of liberal meccas. It's just a bizarre situation. Poor New York City. It's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. But we're seeing the beginning of it, and a lot of, emphasis on developing and building within crypto space. Guess what? Those companies aren't going to be in New York City. So if you're in New York City and hoping to see some building within crypto in New York City, Mamdani gets in, forget about it. It's all going to be in a different city and not there, which will be very interesting. So, yeah, this is it right here, Jim D. New York City, the city that let the Muslims who sponsored the 9/11 bombing put up a memorial. What a circus. And that's why Siraj Wahaj, he was a co-conspirator of the World Trade Center bombing. And there's pictures of him hanging out, Mamdani hanging out with him. That Siraj Wahaj gets around within the Democrat circles as well. So it can get really, really bad here. Chad, remind me who's going to pay when New York's nobody. We're going to put a wall up around it, and that's it. You know, we'll put movie to reality, which will be really great. Let's see that happen. I think that'll be solid. So here we are. All right, what is the time? Look at the time here. So we've got only 15 in. Let's put this up one more time. Let's play this and get ready. Add a few more Yetis to the pool, because we got 15. We're going to do a drawing, and this is the bad boy that we're going to do the drawing for today. So let's get that rolling. Let me put this up and get some Yetis out.
From the frozen peaks they rise, white fire in their eyes, badass Yetis, white tribe. The ass kickers reign. Sword in hand, ice wind at their back, marching through blizzards they attack. Steel meets ice, the ground shakes. Every swing, the mountains quake. Frostbit rage, hearts of stone, they fight as one, never alone. Brothers in battle, fearless and true. Morning breaks, they charge the blue. White clan roars, their legend grew. Ass kickers fight for the chosen few. Yay, rise and roar. Yay, strike once more. Steel and frost, honor and flame. The white clan. Remember the name of the boy. Yo, boy. Like that, no. Yo, boy. Yo, boy. Like that, no. Yo, boy. Yo, boy. Your key, the Zaman wallet. Your fate on the chain. Your word, Yeti.
Chain
is on the chain.
That's right. Is on the chain. That's how we do it. That's how get it out of there. All right, here we go. We got 17 in the pool. Let's get ready. Let's get some music going here. Let's get some background. Let's get it ready. Some drums. All right. Win this one. Got to get this one going. We've got 18 now. 18 Yetis. I think Art on the Lake got his in at the last second. So it's already rigged. Don't worry. It's already rigged for whoever the winner is going to be. Here we go. Here you get the Zaman wallet ready too. Chad Nauseum. Super rigged. That's the secret right there. Got to throw in the rig. Make sure you go the super rigged, and you win. Big winner, Chad Nauseum. Chad Nauseum. I think you're getting got an army of these guys going, an absolute army. So need the rigged. I think it was all rigged right from the start. You gotta get it out there. Chad rigged it. Look at that. Look at it. How fast with the wallet. So hang on. I got to go over to YouTube now. I always forget to have YouTube open. That's the only way to copy and paste. We can't, unfortunately, copy and paste from StreamYard. So we got to go over to the YouTube, and we got to open it up on YouTube. So let me minimize. There it is right there. Let me grab it. Here we go. We are going to give this bad boy away right now to Chad Nauseum. Chad Nauseum. Here we go. Look at this. Put this bad boy right in there. It's I don't know what happens if somebody else scans this QR code. Probably nothing, because really the QR code is set up to complete this this transfer. So let me log into. Let's log in and boom, there we go. It takes like 2 seconds. It's so amazing. This is why, you know, Brad Garlinghouse was saying it's all about the XRP with Ripple and the institutions and all the cool things that they're buying. This is what it's all about, though. The speed at which stuff happens, the speed at which you can move, you can move an NFT, you can move funds, you can move anything. We just moved ownership of this NFT from us over to Chad Nauseum, and it took seconds. It was so fast to move that ownership, and now he owns it. No uploads, no downloads, no emails, no text messaging. It's just, here you go. The only text message that was really needed was, give me your wallet address. The messaging, obviously, over here. So you were talking on the phone, hey, text me your wallet address. Boom, throw it in there. Maybe there'll be an easier way eventually where you'll have your own coded, and I know that's been played with over time, to have your own address. You know, it could be chad.xrp, and that's all I need to plug in there. And you have it registered as chad.xrp, and boom, all of a sudden I'm moving your XRP. I know they did it with ETH. There were addresses out there and things like that. I'd like to see that become more commonplace. Just think of the potency of what we can do with this. Imagine if that was a real estate certificate, and I'm like, Chad, you're bidding on a piece of real estate, real estate, and this is the title to it. And by the way, boom, I just transfer you the title, and it takes seconds, and we signed off on it, and all the legality, everything goes through that sign off. I sign off, you accept it, the transaction's complete. Maybe there's some other things that have to happen behind the scenes, but essentially we could do a full transaction. I believe that, you know, we're definitely moving in that direction. I'm sure you guys do too. But we're seeing the pace at which things can actually go, which is super exciting. Oh, there we go. That's right. D Horner at 37. So for some reason, I feel like on the X, it didn't accept it one time. I was trying to type it in there when you won, and it did not accept. Hang on, let me pull up my Excel spreadsheet. I'm going to double check on the spreadsheet to see exactly where we were on the last one. This is this is actually a White Tribe Yeti, so we keep track of each Yeti that gets given away. We track the date, we track everything here, so we know that this number was given away, and here's who won. And then I put, so you actually won a White Tribe Yeti not that long ago, Chad, which is pretty cool. So let's put this here. I'm going to put your let me put your X handle over here, and today is the 25th. 2525 1025. It's a good number. And by the way, the number that you won was 1101. That is the Badass Yeti of the White Tribe that you won. It is of the clan Ass Kickers, number 1101, which is pretty cool. Very cool. Let's see. It's about to sneeze here. So, all right, let's where are we at? Okay, that's it. That's all we got. So we got the everything's been given away. You guys are all set. It was really a pleasure to have everybody here with us again today on our On the Chain here Saturday morning. We will be back tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, with all of you guys, which will be awesome. Buyback. Let's do a buyback. That's right. Let's buy them back. Let's do a buyback. According to your spreadsheet, who's that? That's a good one. You know what? I'm going to look on the spreadsheet, and let's go through the spreadsheet. I will check it out and see who has won the most. Is it, I think the biggest winner is probably, Charles. Charles is probably the #1 winner. But we'll double check. But we'll see you guys tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, only here on The Chain. Check you guys out on the next one. Chip is already out. Jeff is almost out. We'll check you guys out tomorrow night. I'm out of here.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.